What don't cruise lines want you to know? I have 7 hidden secrets, topics about cruise ships that you'll be sure to find interesting. Just wait until you hear the last one. It's a bit gruesome, involving crime and death. Ooh, spooky season is here. Hello and welcome to Linky Lifestyle. I'm Mardi and I'm thrilled to have you aboard. Alongside my husband Michael, we share a treasure trove of travel wisdom we've gathered over the years to help you plan holidays that aren't just fun, but truly unforgettable. I don't know about you, but I love learning hidden secrets about cruise ships, airlines, anything really. They're fascinating. I bet there'll be at least one thing here that you didn't know before you watch this. Let me know in the comments what you think is the most interesting secret. And make sure you stick around for a very Halloween appropriate topic at the end. First off, have you ever bought something only to discover later that it was on sale? Annoying, right? Well, here's some good news. Sometimes you can snag a discounted price on your cruise even after you've booked. When you book a cruise, you pay a deposit, with the balance usually due about 90 days before it sets sail. But if you spot the same cruise at a lower price after paying that deposit, don't hesitate to reach out to your travel agent or the cruise line. You might just get that discount applied to your booking, saving you a nice bit of cash when it comes to paying that final amount. And guess what? Even if you see a price drop after you've made your final payment, it's still worthwhile to ask. Sometimes you can score onboard credit. In fact, I did both of these for an upcoming trip and I saved nearly 6,000 Australian dollars. Can you believe it? And speaking of savings, let's chat about deals on packages. Some cruise lines, like Royal Caribbean, frequently have sales on drink and other packages. If you see a price drop after you've booked a package, don't be shy. Cancel and rebuy it to take advantage of those savings. Now, have you ever noticed how cruise lines almost always seem to be having a sale? I mean, Norwegian Cruise Line cycles between 35% off for 2 passengers and 70% off for the second passenger. Talk about a game of numbers, that's exactly the same thing. So don't feel rushed to book your cruise before a sale ends. There's almost always a comparable one right around the corner. Another way of saving money is to book the same cruise on an older ship. The newer ships typically have higher prices. Older ships might not have all the bells and whistles, but you can score the same itinerary and inclusions whilst paying less. Some cruises actually prefer the charm of the older girls. And let's talk about that cruise contract you get when you book. Who actually reads those things? Let's be honest, it's hard to keep your eyes from glazing over. But here's a fun fact. When you buy a ticket, you're agreeing to that contract whether you've read it or not. This contract is essential, but it includes clauses that might raise your eyebrows. For instance, it might allow the cruise line to search you and your cabin at any time. It can state that the cruise line holds no liability for onboard contractors like retail shops and medical services. And yes, the cruise line photographers can use your pictures for marketing, but you might find yourself restricted from sharing your own photos online. And don't forget, it will also set the legal jurisdiction for any action. Typically, it's the one that benefits the cruise line the most. Maybe it's time we all started reading those contracts a little more closely. Now let's get real. When you pay your cruise fare, that isn't the end of your spending. Cruise lines expect you to spend about half as much again while you're on board, and they include this in their budgeting, so there are incentives for the crew to part you with your hard-earned dollars on board. Your cruise fare probably wasn't cheap either. So how do you avoid breaking the bank while living it up at sea? You can definitely go on a cruise and not spend 1 cent extra, except for those sneaky cruise lines that hit your onboard account up with daily gratuities. But it's always nice to have some delicious cocktails or a special dinner planned. My advice is to start by setting a daily budget. Think about how much you can afford to spend each day and stick to it. If you spend less one day, you can always spend a bit more the next. A beverage package might be a smart investment to help manage costs too. And don't forget to bring essentials like over-the-counter medications, which always carry a hefty markup on board. When visiting private islands, keep in mind that some activities may be included in your packages, but many are priced at a premium. You can often find similar experiences for a lot less if you book with third-party vendors at other ports. And for the gamblers out there, Set a budget for the casino. Michael likes to treat his gambling budget as entertainment money rather than a way to get rich quick. Remember, cruise casinos operate in international waters, often without the same regulations as land-based casinos, which can lead to less favourable odds. Have you learned anything new yet? I find this stuff fascinating, so I love sharing it with others. If you'd like to help us keep content like this coming, we're aiming to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so please hit that subscribe button below. Now, let's chat about what happens when you're in port. You might think the cruise ship will wait for you if you're late coming back from an excursion, right? Think again. The ship will not wait for you if you're late, unless you're on a ship-sponsored excursion. I'm always amazed by how many stories you hear about passengers getting left behind. And those pier runner videos, I'd be mortified if that was me. Speaking of excursions, remember that you don't have to do the ones offered by the cruise line. Many ports are fantastic for exploring on your own. Or you could opt for a third-party excursion, which is usually cheaper and often comes with a smaller group size. Just make sure those third-party excursions offer a refund policy if the port ends up being missed, which can happen more often than you think due to safety or weather issues. And if you've been to a particular port before or simply want to chill, you can always stay on the ship. You'll likely find smaller crowds and some activities that normally have a charge may be discounted or even free. The spa is often discounted, for example, and Royal Caribbean has exciting options like iFly and the North Star that are sometimes free on port days. Here's something else I find really interesting: logistics. Maybe it's because I used to be an accountant. Can you imagine how much food a cruise line has to stock for a single itinerary? It's mind-blowing. They even use AI to help predict what to order based on the demographics of the passengers on that specific cruise. If a cruise is filled with kids, stock up on chicken nuggets and pizza. For those in Europe, they order extra potatoes and sausages. And in California, you can bet they're loading up on avocados and kale. They also design activities based on these demographics. Older crowds might enjoy bingo, while younger cruisers flock to game shows. But what happens if they miscalculate and everyone rushes to the pool? They might announce a surprise scavenger hunt to get everyone moving. So next time you're on board and a surprise activity is announced, you'll know what's going on behind the scenes. And speaking of behind the scenes, let's get a little bit of behind the scenes info. You might hear announcements that sound like code when you're on board. And you're right, these codes keep certain situations discreet so they don't alarm the passengers. While codes can vary by cruise line, here are some common ones. Alpha 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 means a medical emergency. Bright Star can mean the same, but you don't want to hear Rising Star. That means there's been a death. Bravo 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 indicates an onboard fire. Charlie 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 indicates a security concern. Delta 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 refers to a biohazard. Oscar 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 means someone's gone overboard. And Zulu 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 indicates a fight, usually between tipsy passengers. Managing sickness on board a cruise ship is serious business. One protocol I've heard of is 6 in 6, which means at least 6 passengers report illness like norovirus within 6 hours. That can trigger heightened cleaning protocols, so you may see more cleaning of things like lift buttons and handrails, and more emphasis on hand washing, because yes, washing your hands is still super important, but we all know that, don't we? Did you know that cruise ships dump stuff in the ocean? They follow stricter protocols than the law requires, thanks to the Cruise Line Industry Association, but still, here's what sometimes goes overboard. Sewage. Believe it or not, raw sewage is permitted in the open ocean. But luckily, cruise lines choose to treat it until it's almost drinkable first. Uneaten food. This is turned into liquid before it's dumped, excluding cooking oil, and you might even see birds feasting on fish attracted by the food waste, if you look carefully when you're out at sea. Grey water from showers and washing machines. But again, it's treated to be almost drinkable. I've talked in other videos about cabin locations, but one thing I've found out more recently is that in the lower cabins at the very front of the ship, be prepared for the noise of the anchor being dropped or raised. It can be a rude awakening if your ship arrives in port early. And a quick note on relationships on board. Today's cruise lines have zero tolerance for crew-guest intimacy. The romantic escapades portrayed in old episodes of The Love Boat are a thing of the past. Crew members can even get in trouble for simply being friends with passengers, and if they want to dine together on or off the ship, they usually need to get permission. You may notice some black dirt around the aft decks. That's likely to be soot blown from the ship's exhaust. So if you're craving some sun on the afterdeck, check which way the wind is blowing first, and be cautious booking an aft balcony cabin. And here's a tip for eager travellers. Most cruise lines are pretty lenient if you arrive early on embarkation day. While there might be some restrictions at smaller ports, you can often just line up and board earlier than your boarding time says you can. Now on to the serious part. Crime and death on board. We all love a laid-back holiday without a care in the world, but the reality is that crime does occur on cruise ships, just like in the real world. The most common crimes include sexual assault, theft, and serious injury. However, the statistics show that the chance of encountering a major crime on a cruise is surprisingly low. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't exercise caution. Secure your valuables and keep an eye out for overly intoxicated passengers, as things can get out of hand quickly. Remember, too, that the ship will have CCTV almost everywhere other than cabins and public toilets. Something to keep in mind if you want to get up to no good. When a crime happens at sea, cruise lines are required to report it to the relevant authorities, and the crew is trained to respond swiftly. Larger ships even have a sort of a jail. They call it a brig, a lock-up room similar to a police cell, while smaller vessels may place offenders under cabin arrest or an especially fitted up inside cabin. The consequences for criminal acts can be serious. Fines, disembarkation at the next port, and lifetime bans from the cruise line. In more severe cases, offenders may be handed over to the local police when the ship reaches port. Now let's tackle the topic of deaths. While it sounds grim, the primary causes are falls and cardiac arrest. Thankfully, the number of fatalities on cruise ships is statistically low. Most accidents occur when people break rules or act foolishly. Think climbing between balconies after a few too many drinks. Don't do it. Drowning incidents do happen, but they're rare, especially since many cruise lines have lifeguards at their pools. Unfortunately, there are also cases of suicide. Many overboard incidents are linked to this, rather than just reckless behaviour. And during the pandemic, there were reports of crew members dealing with extreme mental strain from being stuck on board for months away from their families, leading to this outcome. So what happens if someone falls overboard? Most ships have systems in place to alert the crew immediately. As soon as it's reported, they log the ship's location and begin circling to locate the missing person. They'll often enlist the help of other vessels in the vicinity, including cruise ships and Coast Guard boats, spending at least 12 hours searching. But here's the sobering part. The chances of being found alive are only about 25%, and that drops significantly if someone goes overboard at night. This is why making foolish choices can result in lifetime bans from the cruise line. On board, there's usually a morgue. Imagine a refrigerated cupboard with a few pull-out shelves. There's a persistent rumour that deceased passengers end up in the ice cream freezer, but I can assure you that's never been substantiated. If the ship is nearing its final port, the body will likely remain on board. If not, it may be disembarked at the next stop, typically very early in the morning to avoid passenger sightings, accompanied by others from the deceased's travel group. And to clear up some outdated information, there are no burials at sea. That practice was more common when people were taking longer voyages and before refrigeration became a standard on ships. Now, that might be a rather somber note to wrap up this video, but I find these insights into cruise lines very interesting, and I hope you do too. If you've enjoyed uncovering these hidden truths, check out this video on cruise packing essentials, or explore our playlist that dives into tips for flying long haul. Until next time, happy cruising. Bye for now.